The month of April is finally here, and that can only mean one thing. The 2023 NFL Draft is just a few weeks away. It's time to buckle down and get serious about this incoming prospect class. So today, we are going over our top 5 rookie running backs for 2023 here at Draft Sharks. Let's go! What is up, everybody? It is your boy Herms here on behalf of the Draft Sharks crew to go over the top 5 rookie running backs in this 2023 NFL Draft class. If you want to check out our rankings of these players, you can do so over on the Draft Sharks website, www.draftsharks.com. You can see our Superflex rankings and our 1QB league rankings. So that way, whatever sort of league format you're playing in, we got you covered, baby. And if you want some in-depth analysis about each of these guys individually, I have been hard at work over the past several weeks putting together parts of our Dynasty Fantasy Football Value Profile series. So you can check all of that out once again on the website, www.draftsharks.com, baby. Let's go. And we will have a full-length podcast episode and video going up in a couple days with me, Matt Schauf, Jared Smola, the crew, the guys. Will break down this whole class of running backs in depth pretty soon. But for now, let's just start with the simple stuff. Getting into it at number 1, we have Texas Longhorns running back Bijan Robinson. 5 feet 11 inches, 215 pounds of absolute running back dominance. This dude plays with an incredible amount of physicality, a surprising amount of speed for a guy his size, and also some pretty good pass catching chops. It's really more of a question of what this guy can't do on a football field. But my favorite thing about him is the fact that he has stamina. He plays with the same amount of force, power, and effort at the first quarter, beginning of the game, as he does at the fourth quarter, end of the game. If you want a really great example of this, I would recommend going back and watching some of his film against Baylor in 2022. This guy has pretty much everything that you want a running back to have. And even though I was a little skeptical about his receiving skills, earlier in his tape, I think by the end of it, as we got into more recent history, it started to make sense to me why people compare him to Giants running back Saquon Barkley. So look, if you got one of those early picks in your rookie drafts, you're going to want to take Bijan Robinson. Even in Superflex leagues, I think you want to consider this guy at the 101. But don't let his magnificent profile completely overshadow what our second running back brings to the table. His name is Jahmyr Gibbs, and he started out his college career at Georgia Tech. He showed some flashes here and there, but he took on a bigger challenge by transferring to the University of Alabama to play there with Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. And in his 1 year there, man, he flashed. He weighed in at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis at just under 200 pounds, right there at 199. That does kind of bring some people concerns about exactly how many carries he's going to get at the next level. Is he going to be trusted with a ton of work in between the tackles? But personally, I'm not that worried about it, because what Gibbs can do better than anybody else in this class is be deployed as a high-end weapon as a receiver out of the backfield. This guy ran a variety of routes, not only just as a running back out of the backfield, but he also was able to line up wide as a receiver and do some of that stuff as well. Gibbs has the upside to just be a complete monster for half PPR and full PPR scoring. Don't view him as just a consolation prize if you missed out on the Bijan sweepstakes. Jahmyr Gibbs is super good in his own right. I think those guys kind of stand alone in tiers of their own among the rest of the running back class, but there's still plenty of interesting players left to go over. And if you look, we are all in agreement here at Draft Sharks on who our number 3 guy is, and that is Zach Charbonnet of UCLA. He started his career over there at Michigan in Ann Arbor, struggling to find his place in Big Blue. Had to fight his way through the depth chart a little bit, had some injuries, and then just decided to transfer out to California, go out west, and find himself. And boy, did he do that. Over his last 2 years at UCLA, the dude thrived. He is a very, very strong interior runner, very big frame, kind of underrated as a receiver as well. Not the most elite pass catcher in the world, but he can get the job done. And also, Charbonnet, pretty darn good pass protector. He doesn't have a single elite trait based off of my evaluation, but what he does do is tick the core boxes of everything that you would really need from a running back. I believe he has the upside of being a 3-down type player in the NFL, but at worst, he will immediately walk in and be an early down contributor to an NFL backfield in week 1 of this year in the right opportunity. Coming in at number 4, we have Tyjae Spears coming out of Tulane. He was not a super highly regarded prospect coming out of high school. He didn't really play much as a freshman, tore his ACL, and, he almost packed it up and went home and quit playing football. But it's a good thing he didn't, because this kid exploded over his last 2 seasons as a collegiate running back. And I will tell you what, I am very excited about him. He had some fabulous moments at the Senior Bowl down there in Mobile, Alabama. There's that one highlight in specific where he makes that really mean cut against that defender in the receiving drills. You can find that in one of our articles over at Draft Sharks. But I'm just telling you, I've got I'm so excited about Spears. Insane speed, very, very good lateral agility. He's a super good running back. But last but not least here, one of my favorite guys, Devin Achane, coming out of Texas A&M. In a different universe, we'd be talking about this guy as a track and field superstar, possibly even an Olympic sprinter. He ran the fastest 40 time of any running back at the NFL Combine this past year. And even though he's only 5'8", 5'9", under 190 pounds, in the right NFL offense, if they can deploy him as just this speedster, otherworldly video game type weapon, he, much like Jahmyr Gibbs, could also just be a phenomenal half PPR, full point PPR contributor for your team. Don't let the size make you a little too skeptical. Achane has that juice, but that is the only amount of time that we have to go over these guys today. Like I said, if you want to check out these full profiles of all of these players, where we have them ranked, you can do so at www.draftsharks.com. And until we come back with our full-length episode breaking down this class pretty soon, I am Herms, and this is Draft Sharks. Adios.